What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, the former three-time junior middleweight world champion, former undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jermell Iron Man Charlo, has announced that he is now coming back, and he puts a warning to two fighters in particular and the champions, but we know who he's directing this towards, and that's Terrence Bud Crawford, and that's Errol the Truth Spence Jr., as well as the Towering Inferno, Sebastian Fundora. And you have Israel Madrimov, who's going to fight Terrence Crawford next Saturday, August 3rd. And then you have Bakram Mataliev, who is the IBF champion. So you have Israel Madrimov is the WBA champion. He's going to fight Terrence Crawford for essentially the WBA and WBO titles next Saturday. Then you have Sebastian Fundora is the WBC champion, who will be fighting Errol Spence. There's some confusion whether it is going to be Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora. Are they going to fight? You have Sebastian Fundora's manager, Samson Lickwick. He came out and he stated that Errol Spence fight is not happening. They're going to look to negotiate a showdown with Terrence Crawford August 5th. Terrence Crawford going to fight Israel Madrimov August 3rd. So they're assuming, obviously, the boxing world, Terrence Crawford is the favorite and the pound-for-pound best fight in the world. So Terrence Crawford gets past Israel Madrimov. They're expecting Terrence Crawford versus Israel Madrimov to end with Terrence Crawford being the victor. And then they're like, listen, we're going to get Terrence Crawford in negotiations August 5th in the unification. Or they don't want to lose the WBO title because the WBO has mandated the fight. So if he fights Errol Spence, he will lose the WBO title. If he don't fight Errol Spence and fights Terrence Crawford, he'll still be the WBO WBC champion after upsetting Tim Tszyu for the WBO and the unification for the vacant WBC that had been vacated by one Jermell Charlo. So this is great news. So Jermell Charlo letting the world know, I am still the king of the junior middleweight division, and I am back. Who's he going to fight? The last time we saw Jermell Charlo, he was daring to be great. He jumped up from 154 to 168 to challenge Saul Canelo Alvarez for undisputed, had undisputed versus undisputed. And it was a lackluster performance on the part of Jermell Charlo, to say the least. He did not engage. He did not let his hands go. He got dropped in the fight. And people was very disappointed in his performance, underwhelmed for sure. So who's he going to fight? Now, he vacated his belts. But when he announced the Canelo Alvarez fight, the moment he was announced in the corner, the WBO stripped him and elevated Tim Tszyu. So who's he going to fight? Right? I say Jermell Charlo fight Bakram Mataliev for the IBF title. Pick up that IBF belt, as Errol Spence is going for the WBC and Terrence Crawford is going for the WBO and the WBA. You beat, as I expect Jermell Charlo to beat Bakram Mataliev. You beat Mataliev. You the IBF champion. Ho 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 ho! Now you got. It don't matter which fight you make. It's a huge fight. Terrence Crawford versus Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo versus Errol Spence. Now, obviously, the PBC would want to make Jermell Charlo versus Errol Spence, right? In-house, right? But the relationship between Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence, one thing got cleared up on that side is that they both was training with Derrick James, and it was like, who's Derrick James going to go with if they decide to fight? Well, Errol Spence no longer trains with Derrick James. And Errol Spence made it clear, I'll fight anybody. Don't put me in the box. When asked about fighting Jermell Charlo, he said, I'll fight anybody. So Errol Spence versus Jermell Charlo at AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Enormous. That would be enormous. If Errol Spence beats Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno, and becomes the WBC Junior Middleweight Champion, and Jermell Charlo beats Bakhram Mataliev for the IBF title, and it's a unification bout, and then the winner fights Terrence Crawford, that's huge. That's huge. And then what you can do is now Tim Tszyu or Virgil Ortiz can fight Terrence Crawford. You see, now Tim Tszyu, because Tim Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz was supposed to face off against one another. Now you get Tim Tszyu versus Terrence Crawford, or Virgil Ortiz versus Terrence Crawford, while Terrence Crawford is waiting to fight the winner of that fight. Because that puts Terrence Crawford only 2 fights again, still 2 fights away from fighting Canelo Alvarez. Because if he fights Sebastian Fundora, like Sebastian Fundora's team is saying they expect Terrence Crawford fight in December, if he fought him in December, he still, would need the Bakhram Mataliev fight before and by May of next year, and then fight Canelo in September. So if he fights Virgil Ortiz or Tim Tszyu, then he can fight the winner, Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence, because they both have the belts. It's still 2 fights. So he could fight Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz in December, and then he could fight Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence winner in May, and then still fight Canelo in September. This is enormous. This is enormous. Let me know what y'all think and what y'all want to see. Drop a comment below. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.